Hello, beautiful, gorgeous baby. I am famous actor Timothée Chalamet. You may know me from Dune or Bob Dylan. I was recently modding an Xbox 360 controller when it exploded in my hands, and now I'm in the hospital. Due to me not having hands anymore, I need your help, beautiful sexy. All I need you to do is take out your credit card, read me the full number, 3 digits on the back, and expiration date. Stop. That was a test. For those of you that took out your credit card and started reading the numbers to the screen, you failed. Romance scams, sometimes known as catfishing or romance fraud, is when a scammer uses love, affection, and trickery to get lonely people to give them money, mostly by pretending to be either a celebrity or a rich person. It's like OnlyFans, but instead of targeting gooners, it's targeting lonely grandmothers who just want to talk to somebody on the phone. If your grandmother's nice, I want you to call her right now. This phone call could save her from giving all of her money away to a fake Johnny Depp. The origin actually goes all the way back to the 16th century when it was known as the Spanish prisoner scam. Scam artists would write to wealthy business owners saying like, hey, I'm a part of Spanish royalty, however my whole family is being detained right now, and I need your help. They would ask the businessman for money, not so that they could escape prison, but so that their daughter can escape prison and flee to the country to marry the businessman. And once the businessman is married to his daughter, he would then have access to all of my wealth. It was a very effective scam back then because you're dealing with 2 different countries' legal systems. So cops didn't really care to investigate because they didn't want to interact with other cops from other countries because it was work. And modern police don't even want to deal with cops in other jurisdictions, and they have instant message now. So I couldn't imagine doing that when everything was like a 6-day horse ride away minimum. A great example of this happening recently was a French woman named Anne who gave away 800,000 euros to a fake Brad Pitt. And for those in America, that equates to around 40,000 Trump coins. Just wanted to do some quick conversion for you. It might be more Trump coins at this point. I don't know what the price is exactly. It started with a person calling, pretending to be Brad Pitt's mother, saying like, I saw your social media and I think you'd be a great match for my son. And they built a rapport, and Anne even was just like, this is crazy. No, I don't believe it. And then eventually the man himself, Brad Pitt, called her and said, hey, my mother's been talking about you. I think you're awesome. We should talk. So they got to talking, and he says he was sending her gifts. He would be like, I just sent you like $100,000 worth of like Dior and Chanel purses and fancy clothing. However, they're tied up at the border and I just need money to pay the tariffs on them. So if you could send me $9,000, you will get your gifts. To which she promptly, without any critical thought, sent this guy $9,000. Or 9,000 euros, sorry. I don't know how much that is in Trump coin. I'll throw it up on screen. And then in that time, she started opening up to Brad Pitt about her recent divorce and the settlement she got from it, which was around roughly 800,000 euros. To which Brad Pitt promptly contracted kidney cancer and needed money from her for treatment. Now, one might ask, why would Brad Pitt need another person to pay for his treatment? Well, you don't understand. He recently got divorced from Angelina Jolie, and because of that, all of his bank accounts are locked. He can't touch any of his money. That's why he needs the money from Anne. So she sent all the money. Now, I want to be as charitable as possible to this woman because she is a victim of a scam. However, I will be showing you the photos that were used to convince her that it was in fact Brad Pitt. And yeah, here they are. So if this is tricking somebody into giving away that much money, I cannot imagine what's going to happen when full, like, deep fakes come onto... I mean, they already exist, really. If you don't know, there's a guy on TikTok. I don't know if he's still there because I deleted TikTok a long time ago. Who's called, like, Deep Fake Tom Cruise. And he not only looks exactly like him with the deepfake technology, his mannerisms are really good. So he 100% could scam somebody into giving him money. The only reason she started to have doubts was because the real Brad Pitt walked the red carpet with his new girlfriend and it was big news. So she promptly hit up Brad Pitt and was just like, hey, who is this woman? Like, I thought we were together. To which he immediately made a fake article and sent it to her saying like, no, it's not actually his girlfriend. They're just friends. But at that point, it kind of like the illusion was broken and she immediately was like, oh no, I just gave away all of my money. Like, being a victim of a scam sucks, but romance scams are especially bad because not only do you lose all your money, you're getting dumped. Like, you are breaking up with somebody. Even if it was fake and they were tricking you, it was a relationship in their mind. Loneliness is at an all-time high these days, so dating apps are the main stomping ground for these scammers. And in fact, years ago when I was around 20, I was the victim of a romance scam. Now, I didn't lose a lot of money. And I got it back from my bank, but it was a dumb story. I matched with this girl on Tinder and we were talking and it was accelerating at a fast rate, I'd say. And then at the time I didn't have a car and I was living in the city, so I walked everywhere. And she was like, oh, I don't have a car either. So at the time she was like, hey, can you send me money for an Uber? And around this time, Venmo had just started, but it wasn't like as popular as it is now. So she sent me like a link to like send her money. And it looked like a sketchy website, but I was not thinking with this head. I promptly put in my debit card information and sent $20 to her. After it was done, I texted her. I was like, hey, did you get the money? And she was like, no, it didn't go through. That's so weird. Can you send $40, please? So we can like see if it's a glitch in the system. I then became hyper aware in my stupid little monkey brain, walked 5 miles to my local bank branch to file a fraud report, and I got the money back. So, all good. I remember how shitty and dumb I felt at the time. I just felt awful, and I could not imagine if I had lost 40 times that amount. I would have put my mouth on the nearest tailpipe and asked them to floor it. And this crime is almost never prosecuted, really. I worked in a bank call center for a bit in the fraud department, and I quit because I just couldn't deal with how much you had to lie to people. You basically had to tell these victims that everything was going to be okay, when in fact you definitely knew that it was not going to be okay for 90% of cases. People would call in and be like, hey, I just wired my girlfriend $2,000. She's supposed to like wire back 10. Did the wire go through yet? And then you have to ask questions like, oh, do you know this person in real life? And they would always say, no, we met online. And a lot of the scammers come from international lines, so you're dealing with different countries' laws, and prosecuting can take years if it even happens. And that's if they have enough evidence. Most of the time, there's not enough evidence to do anything at all, and you just lost all your money. Banks will actively try and not give you your money back. Banks are businesses, so if they don't have to give you $1,000 that you gave away, they won't. If they find any fault, like if you were at fault in any way, shape, or form, you don't get your money back. And obviously, like, you did make the mistake, you gave your money away, but at the same time, it's like there's no repercussions. Like there's no safety net. And especially for groups like older people that aren't fully cognitively aware or aren't online as much as everyone else and don't understand that they were being scammed. A lot of times I had to break that news to people like, hey, you don't know this person in real life. They most likely took your money. And there are some times where you are on the phone and they are not believing you. They're just like, no, they wouldn't do that. They told me they wouldn't do that. And it's like, ma'am, your money's missing from your account. I don't know what to tell you other than that. Literally, the only solution to romance scams are teaching people about romance scams. Also, if you haven't called your grandmother, call her. Unless she's not nice, in which case, make it the scammer's problem. Don't talk to strangers online. Isolate yourself in your room. The bugs are definitely in your skin, so you're going to want to take that off for sure. Or at the very least, be careful who you talk to online. Don't give a stranger money at all until you've met them IRL and they've been promoted to friend. Even then, within reason, a true friend, a good romantic partner, or a trustworthy Nigerian prince is never going to ask you for money, especially if it ruins your life. Leave that to the government. This is not financial advice, but buy Trump coin. I love seeing people convert USD to air with the click of a button. Like, comment, subscribe, call your grandmother. Bye.